Well, hello there and welcome to the channel, and if you've seen our earlier video you see I'm still pretending to rake up leaves. Hopefully Lorna will come out and stop me making a mess of it and do it herself. Anyway, in this video I'm going to be talking to you about how to overwinter your tree Echiums. Come on then, I'll show you what to do. Now, I'm a big fan of the Tree Echiums, botanical name Echium pininana, that actually means small pine. Some unknown reason, but it's a great thing. It's from the Canary Islands, so it is sort of a subtropical plant, but despite that it has kind of naturalised right here in the UK, especially along the south coast of England and Ireland. Now, when I say naturalised, it's naturalised to a point, insofar as if you can, it's a biennial, sometimes a triennial. That means it takes between 2 and 3 years to grow from seed to then producing its own viable seed. But if these young seedlings don't survive the winter, then there won't be any flowers, won't be any seeds produced, because the whole plant will be dead. So in order to ensure, especially around here, that these Echiums survive to the following year so that they will indeed flower, then we have to give them a little helping hand. We have to overwinter them. We need to do something to try and keep the cold weather off of the growing tip here. But before we put any kind of covering on it, there's something we need to look at. I'll go and show you what we're looking for. Alright, this is the tip of the plant, and you start to see this sort of like leaf damage where it's been eaten. And the other thing you're looking for, you see down there, like these black balls. Now those black balls are the poop of a caterpillar. Oh no, I can see it, look. You see it there? Just right there. There we are. Is a caterpillar. And what you don't want to do, pull that little bugger off. What you don't want to do is put any sort of protection on top of this which keeps the caterpillars inside, because over time they will eat this entire growing spike. Now, if it eats that growing spike, it doesn't necessarily mean that the plant will die, but what it will do is you will lose that central massive flower spike in the spring. What you'll get about half a dozen like side shoots coming off and growing up, and each one of those side shoots, where it's connected to the main stem, that will be a weak point, and in strong winds they will snap. So effectively you've entirely ruined your plant. You've really got to keep an eye out for these caterpillars, not just once but periodically over the winter if this plant is covered. Alright, so these are the items I am going to use. I need some cable ties, I need some ground spikes, I'm going to need 5 canes. These are 1.5 meters, and these are metal, but you can use regular bamboo canes. I just like metal ones. And the most important thing is a big bag. Now, you can use horticultural fleece, but I prefer to use one of those big bulk builder's bags, simply because you can pick them up pretty much for free if you keep your eye out for things. And because what I don't want to happen when it is cold, I don't want the bag or the frost touching the leaves, where the water on that can be frozen, and then that frozen water will then freeze the leaves. So I'm trying to create an air gap. So when I put this bag on top, I want a good foot or so gap between the top of the plant and the top of the bag. And I'll tell you what's important too is, in fact, that this plant will keep on growing over the winter. So you might put your bag 1 foot higher than the growing tip, but give it a month or so, you might have to move it up. So you've got to keep an eye out for that. It's not going to stop growing. Anyway, let's get this thing together. Right, the first thing I've done is put in this center cane. Now the top of the cane is like over the top of the center of the spike, but it's offset. It's at an angle so that it's not in the ground damaging the roots. So it comes off at an angle, and you see there's a gap there, like a foot or so off the top there. So when I put the bag on top of that, that means that there's going to be a bit of an apex in it. Now the reason for that is that when it waters, or when it rains, sorry, the rain just comes off it. Now if I don't put that spike in the middle and just leave it 4 corners of spikes, then in the rain it will cause a dip. A dip can have water in it, the water can freeze, and it can freeze touching these top leaves. And like I said before, I want an air gap between these leaves and the top of the bag. Right, let me finish this off now. Now, because those straps in the corners are quite thick, I'm going to put in the ground spikes and secure those straps to the ground spikes using the cable ties. And now the cable ties. So there you have it, a very cheap, effective way of producing a canopy to protect your Echium from freezing conditions. It keeps the rain off it, it keeps the freezing temperatures off it, it keeps the cold wind off it, and it's secure, so if you do have a storm, it should stay there. There you go, thank you for watching, and if you've got any great tips that you'd like to add to that, any particular fantastic ways that you have for overwintering your tree Echiums, then let us know in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.